Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match reaction. Everton 1, Manchester United 2. Everton's unbeaten 7-game run is over, 6 in the Premier League. It is over in a hugely disappointing fashion tonight at Goodison, where we just never really got going at all. We couldn't sustain any amount of pressure until the last 10 or 15 minutes. And, you know, we're beaten by a team who have got really good players in the final third, but look average at the moment. I'm sure they'll get better, but just right now they're not in a great place. They've let 8 goals in a week, and we just didn't put them under any real pressure until, like I say, at the end. And yeah, just very, very disappointing. The manager brought Anthony Gordon back into the side at the expense of last week's match winner, Dwight McNeil. Not something I'd have done, but we all see it differently. And I thought Anthony Gordon had a shocker, to be honest with you. He's just not in a good run of form at the moment, and he was poor again tonight. He's just right now, he's not doing the things that we all loved about him last season. He looks tired after 20 minutes, 15 minutes of a game. There's no real end product to what he's doing right now. And I think his best performances this season have come away from home, but he just wasn't on it tonight. But Everton made a tremendous start. I thought Onana in the opening 10-15 minutes was excellent. Everywhere, winning the ball. You know, we won the ball early on and got at them. And it wasn't too much longer that we had to wait to score the first goal. And it was a brilliant goal. Tackle on the halfway line. Got it forward. Ball out to Iwobi, and he just curled it into the top corner from the edge of the box. It was a tremendous goal. It was Everton's 1500th goal in the Premier League, and what a way to score it. And it was Alex Iwobi's first goal outside the penalty area in the Premier League, and it sent Goodison into raptures. The atmosphere was bouncing, and Manchester United, to be honest, in that opening 10 minutes looked shell-shocked with the goal. But then Everton just stopped playing. We retreated behind the ball. And what we'd done in the opening 10 minutes was press them, made it uncomfortable for them, got in the faces, nicked the ball, and we just went further and further back, and then they started getting on the ball. And when you allow players like Christian Eriksen to get his foot on the ball and start looking around, they then started getting, dominating possession and trying to find ways to get through. We thought we'd ridden a little bit of a storm. And then we go and give such a cheap goal away that it's like a low blow when you do it. And it come from Garner, who's been very good on the ball since he come back to Everton, the first couple of games. But he was sloppy last week at Southampton. It resulted in a goal, and he was tonight. And instead of just getting the ball forward, he's hesitated and played a loose ball, and they sprung very quickly. The ball into Anthony, and he ran away from us, and Pickford come out. He just clipped it over him and levelled up. Yeah, and became the first United player to score in his first 3 Premier League games. And Everton just didn't really recover from that. We had moments on the break where Gordon was wasteful after a good bit of football down the line. Seamus Coleman done exactly the same, the pair of them, putting crosses into the park end. And we couldn't really fashion anything at David De Gea. We just didn't get enough balls into the box. We break and then stop and turn back. And the difference between the two sides was when Manchester United broke, they went forward, they passed it forward. And they took over in the first half, and we just couldn't get near them. But again, it was another Everton mistake, which led to what became the winning goal. Alex Iwobi, 15 yards inside the United half, with options right and left, tries to do a step over and gives the ball away. And I think it's Casemiro just feeds the ball into Ronaldo, and he runs on. And I'd have to see it again. I've not seen it yet, but I think Connor Cody potentially could do better. And Jordan Pickford, I think it went in at his near post. I think he's got to be saving that. But I haven't seen it again, and that's the caveat to that. I might be doing him a disservice, but I just felt watching it in the ground when Ronaldo went through that he should save the shot, and it ends up in the back of the net. And United then were able to just knock the ball around. They did it much better than we did. We come out for the second half, and we just looked flat. The ground was flat, obviously, because what had started tremendously well, we'd shot ourselves in the foot by giving them a couple of goals. We'd had a let off with, even though Fernandes was already offside, he had the ball in the net, the lines, and took an age to put his flag up. but he was offside. You know, United started the second half much better, and they really controlled without carving us open at any time in the game. Like, you know, obviously they scored the goals, but what I mean is they weren't cutting through us, but they just used the ball really well, and I guess a couple of poor decisions by them in the final third stopped them getting adding more goals to it. And, you know, Everton really, we'd win it and break and then slow it down and come back the other way. And we just didn't ask enough questions of them. There was a return for Dominic Calvert-Lewin with 20 minutes to go, and also a debut for James Garner, who did all right. Dom made a few runs but didn't really get into the game. But United had the ball in the net and it looked like it was 3-1, but it was a handball by Marcus Rashford, which stopped that going in. It would stop that counting. And after that, Everton had a really good go for kind of like the last 10-15 minutes maybe. And now we haven't scored at the end. You do leave the ground scratching your head a little bit. De Gea's made an absolutely brilliant save from James Garner. He had Onana and I think Calvert-Lewin jumping in front of him. He's made a brilliant save. And then United have had to withstand 5 or 6 corners. One that looked like Jordan Pickford was about to head the equaliser in. In between that, Amadou Onana's had 2 good headed opportunities and missed both of them. And I guess the thing Frank Lampard to look at is, you know, United dominated the possession, 61% they had. You know, the shots at goal, United had 12, Everton had 11, but we only had 2 on target. And that'll be of disappointment. You know, one's the goal and the other one is Garner's shot, which the keeper's made a great save from. We've not pulled the trigger enough times in front of goal. United got 3 or 4 important blocks in, don't get me wrong, in injury time. But we just didn't do enough. And it's a disappointing end because, like I say, it's a United side not in their groove yet. But they do, like we said in the preview, they've got players who can hurt you in the final third, and that was a huge difference tonight. Their final third players are better than ours, and they proved it tonight. They won the game. So, and my man of the match is, this is a tough one because I don't think anyone played particularly well tonight for us. I'm going to give it to James Tarkowski, who I thought was all right. The rest, I think, were below par. I think it was our worst performance of the season tonight, but that's football, isn't it? So there you go, that's my match reaction. Thanks for watching, see you later.